Our first guest is still fairly new to Niagara, having taken over the region's economic development role in November 2020. George Spezza brings with him experience in Toronto's Business and Growth Services Department. George, welcome to The Source, and on behalf of everyone here at YourTV, welcome to Niagara.
Thanks very much, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here.
In your role in Toronto, what was your opinion of Niagara? What was your vision looking down to this region from the big city?
Yeah, it was a region I think that was always very tourist focused. Well visited. Niagara Falls being a major hotspot, and I always will recount the story that in my role as economic development, I entertained a lot of international delegations, and one of the first things they wanted to do, and they asked about how far is it to Niagara and Niagara Falls, and so from my perspective, it certainly was a big tourist destination, tourism. But I also have visited many times on my own, and really thought that there was a real bright and great potential for not just tourism, but agriculture, manufacturing, and many other industry sectors here. So it's a large region. I always thought of it as a very large region, and an opportunity in a region with a real bright future that might have been just underutilized at the moment.
Did you follow any of the controversy that was happening with the previous administration at the region?
Not really. I mean, I read a little bit just from what I read in sort of newspaper articles and a little bit of the history, but not much. I mean, for me, it was an opportunity to come and try to make an impact and bring some of my experience and expertise in a big city environment to Niagara, and hope that I can make a difference and put a stamp and a footprint from an economic development perspective and increase the economic vitality of the region.
When you look at what your goals are for economic development from this point, you've been in the role now for about 4 months.
Yeah.
What do you see as what you really want to accomplish in the next year, the next 5 years?
Sure. Well, thus far, Mike, everyone's been terrific. I mean, really welcoming, everything from headquarters to the leadership team at headquarters to just the various stakeholders that I've been meeting with, within the last 4 months that I've been here. And one thing that I really do want to bring is this notion and view of being very team-oriented and a collaborative approach to getting things done in the region. I think a win for well under a win for St. Catharines, any community is a win for the region, and vice versa. So I'm hoping that we can really play together well as a Team Niagara approach to facilitating investment, drawing new investments. I believe Niagara's got an amazing brand globally already. It has a good footprint in terms of the Niagara brand internationally, and we want to leverage that, want to capitalize on that, want to be able to not only attract more people and tourism and events to the region, but also the investment dollars that come with that. Not just the tourism is very important, but we really want to be able to attract the other components of manufacturers and businesses who wanted to invest in the region and create jobs for the region. So I really want to try to have a more targeted and focused and proactive foreign direct investment strategy, identifying some of our key markets around the world where we want to play in and where we think we can leverage some of our assets in those markets to be able to attract new investment to the region.
Is that hard to do right now without being able to travel?
It is. That is an area right now over the last year that's been pretty much impacted. The majority of our activity has been focused on the local businesses and supporting the local businesses, which is great in a time of need. But certainly the foreign direct investment, that targeted investment attraction strategy, has been impacted just given the lack of travel and ability to do that. We are still, though, we are still in some of those markets in terms of having some consultants working for us to generate leads and try to fill our pipeline of leads and activities for investment. But certainly, COVID, from a business perspective and large business perspective, that's kind of taken a bit of a pause for many companies wanting to make those major investment decisions during a time of crisis.
We have the Canada Summer Games coming up next year. Is that an opportunity to really put Niagara in the spotlight and attract some new businesses, maybe before or in the aftermath?
The Canada Games, really poses a great opportunity for the region to showcase itself, but also an opportunity to leverage, some investment potential for the region. opportunities for local businesses to try to be involved in some of the procurement opportunities available from the summer games. So I think that, as well as the Hamilton Oshawa Port Authority, the HOPA announcement in Thorold in a multimodal canal, is something that that we really can utilize to build and leverage the opportunities that exist in Niagara.
What kind of a role does economic development at the region take in the recovery, especially when you're talking about hospitality and tourism?
We have been very much focused on the recovery through the Economic Rapid Response Recovery Team that we are championing. It was created by Chair Bradley early days in 2020, in the early days of the pandemic. And so many of our efforts has been leading that with multiple stakeholders around the table, all the local area municipalities, economic development offices, major stakeholders like the Greater Niagara Chambers of Commerce and other stakeholders that are sitting around the table to help drive some of that support for our local businesses. So we've been assisting with some of the Shop Local campaigns in many of the municipalities, enhancing and assisting in some of that. It's very crowded in terms of funding, various levels of government that are offering sort of various funding opportunities for businesses. And it can be very confusing at times, in particular to many of the small businesses, to see what program is a good match for us, what are the different announcements going on out there from various levels of government, both provincial and federal as well. And so we are maintaining a really good database and a portal as a sort of a one-stop portal for businesses on our website that can help to track many of those programs and support mechanisms that are available.
So helping them find the right avenues
Absolutely.
For funding.
For funding and supporting their businesses. In fact, we are administering a program, the Tourism Adaptation Fund program. It's something that we're currently administering right now. It's a program leveraging dollars from other levels of government. We are the coordinators and the administrator of that program, and essentially provides real dollars, anywhere from $2,500 to $20,000, to any local tourism-related businesses that have spent money and expenses on mitigation measures to help them reopen and help the restaurants open, or their facilities open. So that's again another sort of direct program that we are delivering from a regional perspective and supporting the businesses.
George, thanks for taking time to visit us today. And again, we welcome you to Niagara, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of you here on YourTV.
Thanks very much, Mike. Thanks very much, Mike. It was a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.